The hospitality industry here in Nigeria is fast picking up in momentum. All over the globe, hospitality industry is big business, and Lagos is in the forefront of catching up too. Today on the program Meet the Boss, brought to you by Connectnigeria.com, I shall be talking to one brand that is taking hospitality to another level. What brand might I be talking about? Well, sit back, relax, continue to enjoy the wonderful seaside nature, and after this time out, I shall be unveiling who my guest today is. You're watching Meet the Boss. We shall be right back. Welcome back to Meet the Boss, brought to you by Connectnigeria.com. I still remain humble host William Sizomba. And as I did tell you before that timeout, today we're reaching you live from a very beautiful resort here, believe it or not, in the city of Lagos. Well, join me as I welcome my guest today, one of the co-founder of the wonderful place known as Jara Beach Resort, in person of Mr. Slade. I hope I pronounced that name right.
Perfectly.
You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thanks so much. You're welcome to Jarra.
And thank you for having us in this your beautiful environment.
Yeah.
Good. Now, Mark, as is customary with my show, I like to start the program by letting the viewers know who my guest is.
Sure.
And from the proverbial saying that goes from the horse's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So, let us know who Mr. Mark is.
So, my name is Mark Slade, co-founder and managing partner of Jarra Beach Resort. A British national who's been in Nigeria in and out for 12 years, living here for 7. Love the city, consider myself a Lagosian, and enjoy being here and enjoyed creating Jarra.
Fantastic. Now, let's delve into a bit of your background.
Yeah.
You said you've been in and out of Nigeria for about 12 years and you've lived in Nigeria for 7. How did this journey all start for you? I mean, a British national living home, coming down to Nigeria. What has been your journey so far?
So I graduated about 12 years ago and had an opportunity to run a men's magazine in Lagos. It was called Made, for a discerning high-end Nigerian clientele. It was a 6-month fixed contract where I knew I'd be leaving back for some international travel and heading back to the UK, but had just an incredible time. Met some great people. Saw lots of good opportunities. It was just around the time that companies knew they needed websites, so I was supporting them. In addition, when I went back to the UK to provide websites for Nigerian clientele, I always felt like I'd be coming back at one point, but it was around kind of waiting for that right time. And at the end of 2012, beginning of 2013, came back and a mix of roles and a mix of opportunities. So in the last sort of 7 years, I opened a bar called Lotus, which ran for about 3 years quite nicely, and was my first sort of intro into Nigerian hospitality. And then I moved across to a Swiss media company, Ringier, and established their digital marketing arm across multiple countries in Africa. I left them in September to join or to start this business for Jara and under a little company.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, why hospitality? What was the flair?
I think it's nice to be in a business where you're creating experiences, you're creating enjoyable moments and times where you know for the most part, particularly in a setting like this, people are coming to have a good time. And if you can have that sort of additional feedback in terms of running a business, that you know that people are actually enjoying your space and enjoying what you've produced, and ultimately it's sort of doing what it's meant to do.
Yes.
I think that's the reward that you get with hospitality. It's about creating experiences and making people have memorable times.
Fantastic. Now, how's the journey been so far?
It's been really good. We've had it's been a kind of a journey from almost a couple of years old. It was a dream of my wife and I to take over this space, and we thought we could do this one day. We could. and we took over the property in August. We worked very, very hard for 3 months to get the place ready for the festive season, and we opened November 8th. We actually opened with a business booking where we had a consultancy here for 25 people for barbecue and for drinks, and they had their seminar inside the thatched gazebo. And then since then, we've had a very busy Christmas and New Year. We've had a mix of clientele from big groups to couples to families, day pass visitors who come to experience the space during the daytime. So yeah, we're very pleased.
Fantastic, fantastic. Now, I wouldn't believe it hasn't all been rosy, but before I even get to that, two things. Why the name Jara?
Yep.
And what really do you do at Jarra Beach Resort?
Sure. So Jarra, according to online resources, it comes from either Yoruba and or Hausa origins, and it's a word meaning to add more or to add value once you've paid. So I think traditionally in a sort of food setting on the roadside, you might ask for Jarra to have a bit of extra meat or a bit of extra something. And then for us, it tied in really well to our all-inclusive offering. So that's what I think really differentiates Jarra. We've got an all-inclusive food and drink offering. So when people make their booking, they can leave their wallet at home. We need their ID for checking in, but past that, all the wines, all the beers, the spirits are all included within our offering. So if someone's thirsty, they ask or they help themselves from our snack station. The only thing we charge separately for is champagne and top shelf spirits. So that is the Jarra experience. It's about coming here, really unwinding, having a beautiful view and great facilities and great food and drink to enjoy.
Fantastic. I'm a bit curious. I mean, I must say, personally, I have experienced the place, and I must say it was a beautiful feeling.
Thank you.
Myself and my wife had a great time here. And there was something she kept on asking. She was like, the owner of this place, were they into hospitality from time? What gave rise to that experience? How did you formulate that experience, that ambience of relaxation?
I think it was a mix of a few things actually. This is a family business. It's my wife and I and our young baby Maya. Millie has been a flight attendant for 12 years. So on the basis of that, she knows hospitality, she knows service. She's flown in private aviation for most of that time. So on the back of that, we've kind of lent very much on that experience. And from my side, maybe from the marketing side. But interestingly, I also grew up in a bed and breakfast. So my parents ran a small guest house to welcome international visitors. And I think that was almost my initial introduction from a very small age is to the benefits of creating those experiences, but also meeting different people. So in terms of our own background and experience, and also I touched on Lotus, the bar that we had in VI for a few years. That was also a bit of background. And I think equally, hospitality is it's not rocket science. It's something really, it's about making sure that you're consistent in your service. We drew out in our plan, we talked about 5 pillars and what do people need, and it was a safe, secure environment. So that sort of leans on our security setup, great food and beverage, fantastic facilities to enjoy, a great night's sleep, so in terms of the comfort of the bed. And then I think number 5 was Wi-Fi, so to make sure that technically and our infrastructure was sound so people could hit those social media moments. And when it comes to the space and the time that they enjoy here, it's really just making sure from start to finish they're relaxed, everything works, the food and drink tastes great, and the internet works as well. And I think from the kind of the method and the ingredients that go into Jarra, it's probably those 5 components from our side, done and thought about, every element curated to make sure that whether you're an individual coming on your own, whether you're a group of 60, you come in and you have a fantastic time.
Fantastic time. Great. Now, I still have some more questions to throw, but I think at this point we'll go on a quick break. And when we come back, I'll go a bit more personal about the setup of Jarra and many other things.
Sounds good.
Well, viewers, you're still watching the show Meet the Boss, brought to you by Connectnigeria.com. And yes, we're still reaching you from the beautiful environment known as the Jarra Beach Resort. And my guest today is one of the co-founder, Mr. Mark Slade. When we come back from this break, I shall be asking some more questions before we call today's episode a wrap. Please don't go nowhere. We shall be right back.
I can tell you directly that Connect Nigeria have helped us to meet over 900 persons at the moment. Now,
we are able to meet a larger group of people right now. diverse people from different sphere, advising us and also meeting up with them to see how we can connect with them, bring them on board where they can also earn something from themselves. So it has been wonderful. Really.
Connectnigeria, I feel you guys. Thanks for this opportunity. Last year we were selected as the top 100 SMEs, Imagine SMEs, and that was what gave us the opportunity of being here.
Thank you, Connectnigeria, for putting this together. It's been rewarding. It's been wonderful. I pray that every other SME out there that are not here this year will make it come 2020. Thank you.
Welcome back to the show, Meet the Boss, brought to you by Connectnigeria.com. And yes, we're still reaching you live from the Jara Beach Resort somewhere in the city of Lagos, believe it or not. And I still have my guest in person of Mr. Mark Slade, one of the co-founders of this beautiful environment. Mark, and welcome back to the second phase of today's interview. Now, tell me, Mark, I don't want to believe it has all been rosy for you. I mean, everybody knows the challenges that goes into setting up a business, especially in this peculiar environment called Nigeria.
Yeah, it's not been easy, but I think the major reward is being on the back of that and knowing that we've achieved and we've set up a business that now operates. But looking back, whether it's from the tradespeople, the artisans that we used that maybe we perhaps would have chosen not to if we do this a second time round, or if it's linked to challenges to do with telcos or banking that really at times can be frustrating. When it works, fantastic. Logistically, we've had some challenges as well, whether it comes to call them informal road tolls or something similar to that. But I think for the most part, it's been pretty good. I mean, we know that we're not first timers to Nigerian, we're not first timers to setting up businesses either. So it's almost a case of just making sure the foundations are in place to then have a business that operates really well. And for us, as I say, with the people we've worked with, there would be some that we'd sign up tomorrow to work with again. There's others that maybe we wouldn't. So I think a lot of it comes down to those type of challenges, and also just making sure that execution-wise, we're making sure that things look on point first time round. Something as simple and as tangible as tiling. We had to retile some of our bathrooms a few times because of plumbing issues. We took over an existing space, so that's something you can't necessarily plan for, but you do your best to mitigate once it happens. But yeah, I think otherwise we're pretty self-sufficient. We're fully off the grid here, so we run off solar, we run off a big gen and a small gen. Yeah. So power-wise, we're pretty self-sufficient. So ultimately, whether it works or not is our responsibility, and that's all part of making sure that we're doing our jobs to give clients the most seamless experience.
Now, let's talk a bit about the local environment where you are.
Yeah.
How tolerant and how receptive has the local environment been for you?
So we have had actually a beach house on the same stretch of beach here called Little Zanzibar that has run for just over 3 years. It was our intro into this space and into this community and into this particular plot as well. So we know a lot of the locals very well by now, and equally I think in turn they're pleased that we can bring something like this here. We employ 16 people, so again, and most of those are from the local community. So for the most part, I'd say we've been very well received, and we have good relationships with them.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Now let's talk about some of the core edifice or the core things to look forward.
When you come through the gate, and it's something that even now 3 months in I still love to see when guests arrive and they start to see the glass and they see through there to the ocean, and straight away it's where are we, where have we been transported to. So that's one of the key things that I think most people experience when they come in. And then immediately on the left we have the snack station, and that's again part of the all-inclusive experience where cookies, fruits, beers, cider, teas, coffees, people are encouraged to help themselves exactly as they would in an international all-inclusive experience, and that's very much what we've sort of based our execution on. And then we've got a fantastically, really nice lounge area, so we've got DSTV on the big screen, we do movie at night, we do sport on the weekends, and then of course this decking where we're sat here, so whether it's for breakfast, lunch or dinner, again we're very flexible, and we're also quite small to a certain extent. We're a boutique place with 6 rooms, so if you're looking to have your dinner on your own balcony or breakfast in bed, we can accommodate that. And then of course we've got the outside setting here where we've got 4,000 meters of beautiful ocean beachfront with our games area, our cabana area, great swimming pool, volleyball, football, and then of course our private beachfront as well.
Fantastic, fantastic. Now, Mac, the future for Jara? It's new in the scene.
Yeah.
It's already gaining momentum. What other new things do you look forward to in the nearest future that would make this place even more magical?
Yeah, so I think we've set out, or we've sort of done what we set out to do in terms of setting up a fantastic space, but also making sure that we're continually reinvesting in it. I think this is probably a challenge of hospitality in general, and maybe within Lagos a little bit, where things are forgotten about or the standards aren't maintained. So we know that we've got an ongoing job with this premises alone, but we do have dreams of an extension, so whether we take it to 10 or 12 rooms. We also know that has challenges with the kitchen and other things as well, so we did say let's try and get through the first year of business and then see from there. But also, as you say, it's a new brand and it's picked up some good traction, and there's more than even just Lagosians who are looking for time away. So whether that means we take the concept to other locations, other states, other beachfront areas, that would ultimately be the longer term dream. And well, across West Africa also would also be nice. But again, we're not in a rush. We're patient people. But it's nice to know that if we aim big and have that dream, then it gives us something to also get excited by.
True. You're a foreigner who gradually has embraced the Nigerian culture. I mean, you and your wife, the co-founder, where do you guys pull that momentum to keep going with this brand here in Lagos?
I think it's almost like an internal feeling that you either, everybody has their own path, everybody follows different sort of careers. My career has been a little bit portfolio, I've done different things. This is the first proper attempt, I would say, at running my own thing and being a full-time sort of business person. Historically, it's been from the challenge of the creation and actually seeing if you can do something that you set out to do. I think more recently, it's when you have a family, have a young child, the ability to make sure that we can provide for the future as well. So I guess that's the motivation at now. I mean, I think the plan really from our side was that even if it didn't go as well as we'd hoped, then we still get to be here and we still get to see this.
Nature.
Exactly.
Great.
In the sunshine and the ocean every day. So
beautiful feeling. Beautiful
Thank you.
feeling. You've been part of a number of brands. I mean, 12 years in and out of Nigeria would have given you a very holistic mindset. How would you rate the startup and SME culture in Nigeria from your own standpoint?
Yeah, I think it's incredibly exciting. We have, I think, as I say, I was formerly in kind of digital and the media environment, that lent a little bit on the tech side. So I think there's a few tech businesses going through some challenges as we speak at the moment. And it will be interesting to see how that sort of plays out and pans out. But I think there's always that creativity. There's always the opportunity to find where we can improve or what we can do to establish, to create something. I think it's not an easy environment to do so. From our side, we privately funded the venture, which is again fortunate, but I think also linked a little bit to the fact my wife and I have had careers for a decade, and then we felt, okay, we're in a position to do this. There are some incredibly talented young entrepreneurs here who come straight out of university or even beforehand, who are obviously getting the opportunities. There is the culture, there is the environment there. So I think government perhaps could sort of support that more, perhaps. But I think for the most part that it is an environment where people can create, and if you've got the determination and the motivation to keep it going, then you can succeed and make it work. Everything can improve. I think it's nice to have the opportunity to speak with government individuals and agencies, organisations, to see how we can kind of grow even the coastline alone. I mean, I've mentioned in sort of former interviews, if we have neighbours at Jarra, then it would only improve the area, it would only improve the hospitality culture, it will only create more experiences and positive times for Lagosians looking for leisure time. So I think definitely that should be encouraged. From a perspective of sort of government assistance and help, I think naturally things like grants or creative workshops, doing things on almost a more kind of micro level rather than kind of bigger brand macro stuff. I think it would be nice to see that as well, but I think again it's nice to see that things are moving. You're seeing activity, but I think it's always good to see more.
Yeah, great. Now, Mark, tell me as we come head down the home stretch, are you a book reading person?
I am not as much as I'd like to be. Okay. I've read a few books, but
are there any notable ones you might want to share with the viewers that you feel has helped you so far in your career, in your sojourn in life?
I was going to say, when I hear about CEOs reading 2 books a week, I think, where do they find the time? But they're also maybe not having to be as hands-on in a particular experience like we've had here. But the book that probably sticks out for me, I read on my honeymoon, which was Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, so the founder of Nike. And I think that was, because it's a brand I really love, to experience and to understand the background of it, and also his tenacity to bring that brand to America and then globally. That was one that probably really sticks out for me, and I definitely recommend it.
That's good. Now, any last words of encouragement to other startups who might want to venture into what you're doing, or any other thing else? Is there a word or two of advice you want to give to them?
I think from my own experience and advice is sort of not, again, I can only comment on my own sort of time, but I think it's almost about making sure that you have the feeling that you can make it work. Because I think historically, even from my own time, there's been times I think, okay, I could try this, but maybe I wasn't fully 100% committed, or I wasn't 100% sure about it. This was something that we were very sure about. We knew that Lagos needed a premium overnight beach experience. So my advice would be sort of don't rush it, but also get to a feeling that if you do feel confident enough to make it work, then throw absolutely everything at it and more. And on that basis, it almost certainly should work.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm so tempted to ask this final question.
Uh-oh.
Are we one day to hopefully see like a jet ski kind of scuba diving kind of thing in front of us here?
So it's an interesting ocean line, because we have it goes quite low, and then it's quite aggressive, and then it goes quite low again. In terms, so if you're a moderate swimmer, you can handle it no issue. I think in time, we are thinking maybe a quad bike or 2 might be nice for along the beach line. And we've actually got a neighbouring partner hotel that provide kayaks. So if guests want to come and do that, even at this stage now, we can offer it. But it would be, I think we need to really look at and speak to some serious experts to know whether anything we built here would last. Yeah.
Well, Mark, it's been great.
Thanks so much.
It's been lovely talking to you, and we'll continue to follow Jarra Beach Resort on his sojourn in the Nigerian ecospace, and we'll be reporting it from time to time.
Excellent. Thanks so much.
For having us.
Great. Thank you.
Well, viewers, you've heard it all from one of the co-founders of this beautiful resort, Jarra Beach Resort. He said a lot about how they started the brand, some of the challenges they faced, and the beautiful insight as to some of the things you stand to benefit by coming to this beautiful place. Remember, you can also watch today's episode on our website, www.connectnigeria.com/Cntv, and on our YouTube page. And also, as I always say on this program, if you want to see any other wonderful startup brand CEO on this program, do well to drop me a line or 2 on the numbers on your screen, and I'll do best to bring the person your way. Until I come your way some other time on the same station, same frequency, I still remain your humble host, William Tizumba. And as I always say on this program, continue to keep a positive mind, and the sky might just be the beginning of your success growth. Bye, guys.